What you're about to see is part one in a multi-part streaming series. In this series, I take a look at infrastructure as code. In this specific case, I use CloudFormation to build a full-on CI/CD pipeline. Now, this is a very raw, unscripted, unprepared stream, so you will see me basically type code, look up documentation, fail a bunch of times, all while discussing things with chat and the folks on stream. So if you're into that, please continue to watch this. I will most likely put in the timestamps and all that stuff, all the links, you will have them in the description, so you should be able to follow. Please make sure to follow me for future streams. Check them out here on YouTube or Twitch, wherever. And yeah, enjoy the stream. Okay, we are live, I guess. Hello and good afternoon. Hope you are all having a good afternoon. Anybody on stream, can you just confirm that my sound is okay? I've been struggling with my sound recently quite a bunch. I just want to make sure it's loud enough and not too loud. So from what I see, at least according to my volume levels, it seems fine. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Hamid Rasul. Cool. So today's stream is a bit, well, it's maybe a bit different. So it's not going to be focused around any specific, well, it is going to be focused around a specific product, but I'm going to approach it in a bit more relaxed way, even more than you're used to. So I'm going to do something in CloudFormation. So people were asking me, can you do more things in CloudFormation? Why not? So what I like to talk about is CloudFormation, and I like to talk about DevOps. So one important aspect of DevOps is your toolchain. And what is that toolchain? Most of the time, it's a proper pipeline. So I'm going to try to create a CI/CD pipeline using the AWS developer tools purely from CloudFormation. Now, to preface this, I have not prepared anything, literally. So you're going to see how it's done by me looking up at documentation and me trying my code with different things. So it's going to be a lot of trial and error. In that sense, I don't really know how long this is going to last. So let's try to do it. Also, I have a different approach here. I'm still doing it from my laptop, but I have my laptop sitting right on the right side, and I'm gonna just use my actual keyboard to type things on it. So let's see how this works. Switching over to this one, perfect. So we do see my S3 bucket. So, okay, cool. I can do this right now. Oh God, that's slow. All right, so I can ignore this for now, I think. I still need to log in. You know what? Let's do it old school. No console. That is no web console. One moment. It's going to be a lot of switching left and right. So for all of you that's just joining, this is going to be a relaxed stream. Let me switch my keyboard to the other computer. Cool. Okay, that works now. I think this should be all good. And if I do this and do iTurn, perfect. Now, is my keyboard too loud? That's also something I want to check out because it's a mechanical keyboard, and I'll try not to type too loudly. But yeah, so you're gonna see me actually look at my documentation. You're gonna see me use CFN-Nag. Oh, hey, Marius. You're welcome, sir. I am very happy to do these kind of things. I love stuff like this. Also, our chat should most likely work. Why is that? Why doesn't chat work? Chatbox. You should work, Mr. Chatbox. Okay. Maybe it shows up after a while. It's Chatbox, so it's weird. Oh, one more thing I need to do is I need to do something, and what would be the best way to do this? Like that and that, and how do you disable your computer going off on Windows? Yes, it's power and sleep. Okay, that's fine. All right, this should be all good. Perfect. Switching back to this thing. So what are we going to try to do is basically build something through the means of CloudFormation. So we're going to build a proper CI/CD pipeline in that sense that we are going to create the code pipeline, code build, I guess, code commit, maybe some CodeDeploy, maybe some Cloud9. I never know. We need to start from somewhere. So let's first log into this. Oh, I need my passwords. Where is my other computer? It's here. Yes. Password. Okay. But I'm actually so I'm streaming from my Windows laptop. If anybody is wondering, I'm streaming from a Windows laptop, and I am basically using a capture card where I have a capture card in my Windows machine, and I'm taking the output, HTML output from my Mac to here. So I'm actually looking at my Mac screen through OBS, and it's not the best thing in the world. It's a bit laggy, but hey, what can you do? We'll get by. So we need to do something. So if I go to code pipeline, I'm gonna do this and look at what kind of pipelines I have. I have a few pipelines that I want to just kind of replicate. I want to make it relatively simple. I think this is something that should be good, right? So we need a source phase. We would need some sort of a code commit repository. We need a build phase, so we need code build, and we need deploy. So, or a way to deploy our application somewhere. So let's start. Where do we start? Do we start? Did we have an application already, or Mihai asks on YouTube, by the way. Mihai asks, or Marius, sorry, asks, do you intend to see CI/CD video using CDK? Absolutely. If you are interested in this, I'm very much happy to do that as well. I find these things fun and exploratory, so we can do that as well. Okay, let's start with the pipeline itself. What is the first thing we need to do? The first thing we need to do is, well, create tmux and then session new, right? Is it dev like that? No, it's not. Tmux new session, and then the SS is going to be right. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's create something. CD workspace, and then I have here streams, and let's create a directory here. CFN, CI/CD, right? Fun. Cool. Okay, so let's start. Let's kick it off with vim template YAML. So what's the anatomy of a template, of a CloudFormation template? We need resources. That's the only thing we need by default. But let's do more. Actually, let me open up I have a template that exists already, so I will be going to CloudFormation. Is there a CloudFormation stream? Yes. So there is one stream here. So the working example, is there a... What do I have here? Okay, template YAML. Is this one good one? Vim template YAML. I want to just get some basics out here, so I don't have to type a lot. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's do that. And I need the description, of course, do that. And then parameters. Okay, I need parameters, and I need some resources, right? So resources like that. Okay, so I'll close this for now. And we will start doing it here. So let's describe CloudFormation to create Hello, Graham. Hi, how are you doing, sir? By the way, chat, let me know if my keyboard is too loud. I will try to not, I'll try to make it not distracting. If it is too loud, I'll just use my laptop here or something. Hello, Satya. Parameters. What shall we define for parameters? What do we need first? You know what? Let's ignore parameters for now and let's do some resources. So what do we need? What do we need from resources? So we need a code commit, or we need code commit. We need what is it? We need a source phase, right? Source. We need build, and then we need deploy, and then we need a pipeline. Cool. So for source, we're gonna be creating a code commit repository, and let's name it. Oops, not that. Let's do that, and then let's name it. Let's be super creative and call it my code commit. I'm very good, Graham. It's been a very busy day, so I've opted in for a very simple stream like this. Oh, we also have Strahinja on YouTube. Hello, Strahinja. Strahinja is a good friend of mine. He is also the user group leader of the AWS user group in Serbia, in Novi Sad. So, yeah. So let's get started. How do we do this? Let's go AWS CloudFormation, code commit. What do we need for code commit repositories? Well, talking. So let's get an example. Is there an example? This should be fine. Copy, paste, and then bam. I will do this. I don't need this, and I will type properties. That's fine. I will remove all this. Call it CloudFormation. Cool. Actually, like that. The repository description will be: this repo was created on a live stream via CFN. Perfect. Cool. Excellent. So this is all we need. So this is basically, we have created a code commit repository right now. And for those of you who do not know, a code commit repository is just a Git repository with, it's an Amazon or AWS hosted Git repository. It's hosted on S3. And well, so it uses S3, DynamoDB, and KMS as part of its backend. So it's pretty robust. By the way, this is water, I promise. No drinks today. I actually have no drinks at home. So we have a code commit repository. That's super simple, and this should be sufficient. This is actually sufficient to create our repository. We're not going to go overboard. We're not going to create any kind of events. It should all be like this here. Now, the build phase. Let's create a code build project. How do we do that? Well, let's have a look at the documentation. Code build. We need to create a code build project. Perfect. Is there a great example? Oh wow. Okay. Gin in a slice. I wish it was gin in a slice. It's literally carbonated water, and it's not even like good carbonated water. It's the one I've made at home. It's with the SodaStream one. Yeah, it's that carbonated water. So let's see what example can we use that it's not too massive. I'll take this one and paste and do this and this, and then I have to. So what I usually like to do is take an example here and then just build off of it, right? So I don't complicate things too much. So my project, let's call it my CFN stream project, right? Service role or no artifacts. Yeah, this should be fine. Source. Okay, we need to define a source. Now the source is not gonna be GitHub. It's actually gonna be code commit repo. but it's gonna come from a code pipeline, right? Yeah, so here's the thing, that now this is where it kind of gets complicated. So you need to define a few things before you can do this. So let's have a look at the documentation. What do we need? So looking at the documentation, artifacts. What does it say about artifacts? They are required. Okay, let's look at the artifacts. What they can be. Do we have examples? No. Okay, so yeah, code pipeline. Perfect. So artifacts, code pipeline. Because we're going to use the artifacts from code pipeline. So you can use code build without code pipeline, absolutely, and that's why you can define like your artifact to come from GitHub or somewhere else. But because I'm going to use code pipeline in this case, I'm going to define my artifact as code pipeline. So okay, then we need something as well. So what is the next thing we need? The documentation is good. It's a great way to start. So if you ever wondered how to get started with CloudFormation or anything else, this is the way to go. And Zoran on YouTube says, "Ništa bez kňaza." It's not kňaz, yeah, it's a different type of water. Although my favorite water at home is not kňaz, it's vrnci. Yeah, but yeah, it's a. So what do I need? What do I need? I need to check out, where is this? Not environment. I need to get the service role. Yes. So I need to define a service role for this one. So the service role, basically what we need to define here is a role that will be used to give permission to CodeBuild to do something. Now, I can create the service role here right now and use that, or I can just use an existing role. So if I go to here and let's open up, for example, let's go to IAM and then open it like this. By the way, anybody on stream, even if this might take a long time, I think it will take a longer time for me to do. I will see if I will make this in chunks. I'll try to do it all today, but if I don't do it, I'll do it in chunks. And if I do it all today, this is all going to be recorded on YouTube and all that stuff, so you can check it out at your own free will. I need a role. I need a role. Code build role. Code build role. There is a code build role here. What does it do? What kind of permissions does it have? Logs, ECR, S3 bucket. No, this is something I've used before. I need something else. Oh, what's the best way to get the code build role here? Yeah, these all roles are actually created by. Yeah, see, it has the pipeline action thing here. Okay, so what would be the best approach to this thing? To create a service role that does something for you. I believe I have an example of that somewhere. Wait. If I remember correctly, I have a CloudFormation template that creates all of these things. So I just want to maybe just make a short peek on it to see how this should look. See, a lot of CloudFormation stacks. Yeah, there's a CI/CD pipeline thing here. Maybe if I, it's in JSON. Lovely. Satya asked me, do you focus on dev tools? Well, so there are some developer advocates that focus on specific areas of services. I don't. I focus on a region. My region is Central and Eastern Europe, plus Russia and that part of the world. But I like developer tools. I'm a fan of them, so I like to talk about them quite a bunch. So that's the thing. Okay, so code build role. So this is how a code build role looks. Oh, that's a big code build role. So let me do something like that. And let's convert this JSON to YAML. What's the best way to do this? Is there a JSON to YAML? JSON to... Maybe this works. If I do this. I know it's horrible, but don't yell at me, please. This. Like that. No. There we go. So, by the way, on this topic, CloudFormation has its own. There's a tool that you can flip CloudFormation templates, but you need to do them for the entire template. I am not gonna do that. So let's do one more thing. I need some IAM. I usually create something like this, a specific sections here, pipeline, like that. Cool, and then let's do code build role. Excellent. Now this one has a lot of permissions, which I'm just gonna completely ignore. I'm gonna not use them. Does this look good? Code build role. Here's a great tip for you, all of you infrastructure as code fans out there. Use any resources you may have, even though it's not good. I mean, I just basically pasted a solution I used way back when, and I'll just make it work for this use case. So statement action. This is not how an IAM role should look. It should be a bit different, but let's have a look. How should this actually look? I have an example somewhere. Yes, I do. So going up here and then CloudFormation, then our first template. There's an example of how this should look. Effect, action, resource. Okay, so if I do this, effect, action, resource. Is this the same way? Yeah, that's fine. It's just the other way around, but okay. Cool. So I'm allowing, basically giving code, creating a policy called CFN stream code build access. That's all fine. Trying to learn Vim, Graham. Vim you will never learn Vim. Vim you constantly keep learning. So I'm using Vim for a few years now, and I still get to learn new things from time to time. So code build role, and so I'm gonna use that role in my code build. So instead of pasting an ARN here, I'm just gonna do ref or ref and then my code build role. They should be fine. Okay, now so for environments, what kind of environment are we gonna take for code build? So code build project, and let's look at the properties. Environment should be something. Environment type, compute general small. Is this a good one? So many key options. Yeah. Compute general small should be okay. I will be using a Linux container, right? There's a, what is that? A type is, we can do a Linux container or GPU container. That's fine. I can use Linux container. That should be okay. And what else do I need to define? I need to define an image. Now, the image, I believe it's also standardized. Image or image tag to be using. I think this is okay. I think this should be fine. Now, here's the thing. Once I'm here, so once I finish this thing, I can remove source. What is the source? Source is not going to be GitHub. Source is going to be, what is source? Source should be source. Okay, what is a source? Source is, just let me know, tell me it can be CodePipeline. Yeah, so CodePipeline, this is required. Basically, we need to define just the type, right? Yes. So if I just do this and just do code pipeline, perfect. Now I don't need any triggers in this case, so I'm going to completely ignore them. Fine, excellent, perfect. I think I have all the things I have just for this to be created. It's not going to work the way I wanted it to work, but it's just, it's there, right? So let's see what are the things that are required right now. Artifacts are required, cache is not required, description is not, encryption key no, environment yeah, that's something we define. File system locations no, name no, secondary artifact no, secondary sources no, secondary source version, service role yeah, source yeah, source version no, tags no, timeout, triggers, VPC config no. Excellent. So we have our thing here, which is ready. Goodbye, Satya. I hope you watched the recording at one point. Thanks for coming in. I think this should be all fine. So if I would just go here and say, just do comment this out and open up, let's go here and then go CFN-Lint, right? And I do template. CFN-Lint will tell me that I do something wrong, and I most likely did not. Wow, it works. I am shocked. So this works out of the box. That's very cool. CFN-Lint, for those of you who do not know, does it have a man page? It does not. So CFN-Lint is a tool that basically acts as a linter for your CloudFormation templates. So CFN-Lint, if I do this, no, and this. So it's just a super simple CloudFormation linter. I believe it was written in Python. It's a great tool. I use it like this, so I wouldn't have to upload my template and see if it works. Cool. So far, our template is good. So we have created a code build role. We have created a code commit repository. We have created a code build project. And let's see, what are we gonna do now? Here's the thing, I wanna think about how are we gonna make our application. Are we gonna do it on an EC2 instance running a Linux server or something like that? Are we gonna do it as a Lambda function? Are we gonna do it on a container? Does anybody in chat want to vote on what are we gonna deploy our application? Because our application, whatever we gonna deploy. If anybody has a suggestion, we can maybe build towards that. While you think of that, because there's a delay between me saying that and the stream, I'll do something more. Are we gonna do pipelines? Let's do pipelines. How do we build a pipeline? Code pipeline. Not that, code pipeline. So pipeline should be relatively simple. Well, no, actually, pipelines do have a lot of things in it. Okay, so let's create a pipeline. Let's do that, and then let's paste. Ooh. Pipelines actually take the most space in your template, just because they define a lot of things. So service roles. Are we gonna define a service role for our pipeline? Let's do that. So what do we need for our service, for our code pipeline service role? What kind of permissions do we need? So let's see if we have it here. Role ARN. So let's have a look. So code pipe. Okay, you know what? I'll just have a look at what do I have from CodePipeline. Let's have a look. CodePipeline. Okay. Oh wow. Yeah, there's a bunch of things here. A bunch of inline policies. What is the main thing we need? We need S3 bucket. We need put objects. We need code commit. We need code deploy. Oh, this one has all the things. Ops works, code build. This can be better. This is not the good policy. Let's edit policy and JSON and then like that and copy. And let's try to convert this again to YAML. Will this make it better? Yes, it will. The great thing about this is you can actually convert existing JSON IAM policies and just basically use them as that. So use them in CloudFormation, right? So you have to do a bit of modifications, but it's possible. So let's create a new role. Let's do something like this, and let's call it I'm gonna paste a bunch of things here, and then I'm gonna go here into like this, properties, assume role document, like that. This should be okay. So the service principal needs to be CodePipeline. CSC, let's do this like that. And the statement is then the following. So I can take this entire statement I've copied and just use that. That should most likely work. If I just take it all like that and just wabam, and then wabam, 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 perfect. But there's so many things here. Oh my god. This is not a good role. I mean, it will work, but it is very, very permissive. But okay. That's okay. I will use that, and that should work. Now, if you're having trouble following what this is just a role I need to use for my code build pipeline. And if you do not wish to create this through CloudFormation, you can just use your existing role. So instead of creating your role here, you can actually just take an existing role which exists in your IAM account and just basically apply it to your pipeline. I am gonna do it like this. What is it called? My code pipeline. Yeah, this one. Cool. So stage of source action is gonna be so. Here's the thing: like if we look at the pipeline, how does it look? It has a bunch of stages, right? So it has the source stage, the build stage, and the deploy stage. So we're gonna create each of those separately, and each of those each of those stages can have actions. So we're gonna have a single action per stage, but that should be fine. So let's do it like this. See, there's a beta stage, which we're not gonna be using. Let me remove that. There's a release stage. That's something we're not gonna be using. Okay, we're gonna just rename these things. So okay, there's three stages here, which is fine. So we are fine with using those things. Okay. So source, let's have a look at the documentation. Code pipeline, stages, then stage declaration. It has a specific stage declaration syntax. Okay, stage, and then let's call it action type ID, right? No, stage and action declaration. Okay, action type ID is action type ID. What kind of action type ID do we have? We have source build test owner. Okay, so it's going to be source owner AWS, and the provider is what are the valid action providers in code pipeline? They should be source should be CodeBuild, right? Or sorry, CodeCommit. So we're gonna change this thing into CodeCommit because we're using CodeCommit in this case. Output artifacts are basically going to be what does this stage produce. So code pipeline here, output artifacts. Let's have a look at that. List of output artifacts. It's just a string. So we can call it source output. That's perfectly fine. Now configuration in this case is going to be a bit different because we're using CodeBuild. So if I have a look at this thing, is there an example? How does this look? CodeCommit, sorry. CodeCommit would be source CodeCommit. Okay. Configuration repository name. Okay. Let's call it. Is there an example of this? Yes. Repository name. Let's do this. So repository name. It's gonna be. I can ref my code, and I can just do this. Code. No. Okay. That. What is the next thing? Branch name. Branch name. We're gonna use main for branch name. That should be fine. Poll for source changes. Do I need to define that? Poll for source changes. Required no. Okay. We don't. No, we're not gonna do that. I think the default setting is to no. False. Now, do we need to define this or? Let's do this. Okay. Poll for source changes. False. False. Perfect. Okay. Cool. That's fine. Let's then move on to the next stage. Let's call it build. Let's call it build action. Now the input artifact needs to be the same name as this. The input artifact needs to be the same name as the output artifact in the previous step. So I'm just going to leave it as source output because that's the same. Now action type ID is not going to be deploy. It's going to be actually build. So if I do build and I'm going to do code build. And then I do configuration. Now, here's what you see here. Configurations here are different depending on what the category of the action is, or what the provider is in this category, in this action, and of course in this category. So because we're using CodeBuild here, we can have a look at here. So we say build, we click on this thing, and we can basically just do something like this. Let's have a look. Actions build name. Configuration should be project name, right? So we go to project name. Again, we can reference this. We can say ref and then my code build project. Then we can do primary source. Is there a what is a primary source? conditional. Primary source parameter must be the name of one of the input artifacts of the action. CodeBuild looks for the build spec file and runs the build spec command in directory. Parameter required if multiple artifacts. Okay, so we don't need to define that. Perfect. We just need this and nothing else. Perfect. That should be good. What else do we need? Now we need to deploy. How are we gonna deploy? Deploy. Name. Deploy action. Now, okay, I need to define an output here from CodeBuild because I need an output from the build artifact. So is this something I define here? Output artifacts. Okay, cool. I have an output artifact as well. Perfect. So I need to do output artifact, and then I will call it name my code build artifact. That should be fine. Okay, I think this should be all good. Input artifact, is it defined already? Yes, it's defined. Okay, this should be fine. Cool. So now the input artifact here is the my code build. Okay, action type deploy, and am I gonna use CodeDeploy? Or I'm gonna use, yeah, let's use CodeDeploy. Why not? But for that, we need to create a CodeDeploy application. So let's go back to create CodeDeploy things. So while you were away, let's do some CodeBuild. CodeDeploy. Yes, CodeDeploy. We need to define an application and the deployment group. So first of all, let's define an application. It's very simple. Let's do that. And what we can deploy to a Lambda function, it would be easier. Okay, let's do that. So like that, and then paste. My code. Properties, compute platform will be like that. And do it. Can I define a name? Application name, yes I can. So application, let's call it CFN stream Lambda app. Okay. So that's very good. I need to create one more thing. If I define this as a Lambda function, okay. Now I go back here. What I need to define here, where is this thing? My code build thing. Deploy action. Okay. CodeDeploy application name will be ref, not application name, but it's going to be my code something. My code deploy application. Okay, good. Okay, I need to define a deployment group. Okay, let's create a deployment group. How does a deployment group? How does one create a deployment group? Oh wow. What are the examples? Can I do something with Lambda functions? CodeDeploy can get a lot, quite complicated. How can I do this the easiest way to do it? A deployment group. Is it deployment group? Can it be on a Lambda function? I don't really know. Deployment group name. Let's have a look. So let's do this. Code deploy to Lambda's deployment group. create application, specify deployment group, that's all fine. This is not very helpful. How about we go here and go to code deploy, get started, and let's pick an application. I have an application here. Let's create a deployment group. I want to see how this works. If I, aha, does this work? No, I need to do it differently. So applications. So if I do Lambda, that, okay. And if I create a deployment group, service role, okay. I don't need to define anything like that. I can create a deployment group for Lambda functions. Okay, good. If I go back to something, give me a second, where do I find this? Yes, code deploy. I want to take a simple example just so I can paste some scaffolding. Is this code deploy? Yeah, no, it's CodeBuild. Code deploy, deployment group, examples. Take this. I wish I have that Vim plugin to collapse these things, but yeah. Code deploy deployment group, yes. Deployment group. And then let's do it this way. Can I paste? Do I paste? I did not copy anything. Like that. Paste. Okay, good. Application name is gonna be my code dev. Okay. There are no autoscaling groups. Is deployment mandatory? What is mandatory here from the things? So alarm, application name is mandatory, rollback, no, deployment, no, config name, no, group, no, deployment style, no, EC2, no, service role ARN, okay, yes. Okay, so we just need two things. So we need just this thing and then that. Oh, do we create a new role again? Okay, I need this and this and this and this. Okay. More role creations. Whoa. Would be like this better. Policy document, is this, yeah. Statement like that. Okay, cool. So let me just paste this in. Code deploy. Is that the thing I need to have used here? Code, yeah. Code deploy, yeah, that's fine. then I just go here into this and copy this and then just paste this. I remove this. Okay, so hopefully this should all be fine. And deployment group name is this. Okay, so no, it's up here somewhere, right? Code build, code deploy. Okay, so service role name is gonna be. Can I do? I'm gonna try this, and I'm just gonna wing it. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but let's try it. So it's gonna be what's the name of the role? My code deploy role. Okay, good. So these are the only things we need to define here. So if I go back here and change this thing, my code dep. Okay. Encryption key, I don't need to do this. I'll disable this. Cool. Well, let's just have a look at the artifact store. Do I need that as part of my code pipeline? Code pipeline, where are you? No, not that. Code, what is this? Oh. Okay. Code pipeline, artifact store. Is this required? It's conditional. Artifact store or artifact stores in the pipeline. Okay. Okay, let's see how the artifact store looks like. Location can be S3 bucket. Okay. So we need to create an S3 bucket. Okay, let's create an S3 bucket. How do we create an S3 bucket? AWS CloudFormation. This should be simple. Wow, so many examples. Can I get the simplest example? Thank you. Let's do something like this. I want to have, what is the deletion policy is something. The deletion policy here is deletion policy? Yeah, deletion policy should be something that you define if you want the bucket not to be deleted when you are deleting the stack. So I want to disable that. Is that thing not? Okay, I'll just choose retain because it might cause me problems. Let's call it something unique. DMSero CFN stream artifact bucket. Cool. Awesome. So in essence, this should not work right now. I think we are still missing a few things here. But let me try to see if this template works at all. I would be very surprised if it was all good, because I did a lot of hodgepodge thing. So CFN-Lint template. Okay, so principal or not principal. So IAM policy statement is missing, shouldn't have a policy, principal or not principal. What is that? So 13 GG. Assume role policy document, principal service. Shouldn't have principal or not principal. IAM resource policy. No, it's 27. No? Ah. Okay, something is. Let's look at the documentation. I may have missed something. So let's open up this and go to. We can go to IAM. Or actually, let's go here. IAM role. IAM roles are always the hardest things for me to create when it comes to these things. So if I go policies, how does a policy look like? Policy document, does it look the same way I want it to look? Policy name, policy document, yeah, that's fine. Policy document is just JSON and it's just a normal policy document. This policy document looks fine. If I have a look at the proper CodeDeploy policy document, where is it? Yeah, version, statement, SID, allow. I can remove SID, so this is something that's technically not required for this thing. Okay. CFN stream build access, that's all good. Okay, let's run it again. IAM policy missing resource or not resource. Okay. Okay, so that thing that I did was wrong. Put back SID in. Redo that and go over. Okay, save. You know what? Let's remove some of the things here. We could more easily understand. 2713. Why is it missing a resource statement? What am I doing wrong? Is it missing a resource? It's not. SID is here. If I no, my light fell. I apologize. Ugh. See, proper lighting. But not a proper stand for said lighting, so. No. Stand there. Okay. Statement looks fine. Effect allow. SID. Is this okay? Looks fine. If I do it again. No, it's CodeBuild. Wait. Code deploy. Might be the same error again, but I found something that's what did I found? 24. Am I breaking something that I don't see? Wait, okay. Is it gonna be tab spacing? Oh, tell me it's gonna be tab spacing. Okay, that was tab spacing, but 27:15. This statement is wrong, apparently. So the policy document is not good. So let me have a look at how my policy documents look here. Policy document, version, statement, effect, allow. Ah. Tab spacing, everybody. It's still not good. Why is it not good? Effect, allow, action, true. And imagine I've had to do this all the time through the web UI. Wouldn't be super fun. Let me remove some of these things. So line 241. So 241 GG. These things need to be, version should be type of string. Oh god, okay. So copy and pasting doesn't work all the time, see? Okay, I should have fixed at least something. Yeah, that's fine. Invalid property resource output artifact. Aha. Output. Good. Perfect. So we need to figure out what's wrong with my template. With my not template, but with the code deploy role here. If I do this, I can kind of count the tab spacing here, but it should all be fine. Service is good. Am I not pasting something okay? Let's have a look. Can I just take this and then like that, put it here, paste it, copy YAML. Copy YAML again because I don't know how to use buffers, not buffers, but base buffers. No, not that. No. Okay. Principal. Okay, this seems like it's Maybe different? No. Policy statement should not have principal or not principal. So most likely what I'm doing here is something wrong with how I approach roles. With a role, sign, assume policy document. This should be it. Principal, service. Interesting. Let's go back to IAM and see how an actual role looks like for CodeDeploy. CodeDeploy service role. Like that. And if I look at the JSON, oh, there's a lot of things. Oh, this is just a trust relationship. Yeah. Okay, this is different. So, okay, so I'm doing something wrong. Assume policy document, statement, action, assume role. Okay, so the policy, I don't need a policy. So I just don't need anything, right? I can completely ignore my policies at this moment. I think this would work if I... Yes, because I was doing something completely different. Excellent. So I just have a warning that on the necessary bucket update replace policy are needed to protect resources. That's just a warning. Okay, that's fine. We can completely ignore that for now. Cool. Shall we try to create this? Let's do one more thing. CFN nag and then template. What will CFN nag tell us? Ooh. There are a few failures. What they are. CFN nag, by the way, is a tool that tells you, indicates potential insecure resources or insecure infrastructure within your template. So let's have a look. So it says that my code build should use encryption. It absolutely should. IAM role should not have a star with pass role action as permission policy. Absolutely. Should not have a star or asterisk to its permission policy. IAM role should not allow resources. That's fine. Artifact S3 bucket should likely have a bucket policy. I don't have it. Bucket should have access logging configured. It should. And bucket should have encryption set. It doesn't. Okay. I mean, so these are the things that they would fail me if this was sitting in a pipeline, but because I'm just doing it locally to see if this is okay. And I'm fine with these things right now. I just want to make it work. So that's the thing. When you are building something in infrastructure as code, be that CloudFormation, be that Terraform, be that doesn't matter what, you need to take it slowly, right? Do not try to fix all the things at once. See if it works, get things in, and then just fix them as you go along, but make sure to fix them. Do not leave them for a different day. Make sure you address these things. Okay, open up this thing and let's try. Let me try to deploy this with CloudFormation. Let's create the stack. Upload a template. That's not it. Streams, CFEs, this should be it. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, there's no error so far. Stream CFN stack, CFN stack. Oh, one. That's fine. Next. Now see, I have no properties, no parameters set, nothing. So I'm not following the best practices right now, but that's fine if you're trying to build something from scratch, like I'm doing right now. While this is happening, I want to check who's on chat. Who's on stream? Is there anybody I know? Well, Graham's here as well. The rest of you, I don't know, but hello. So on check. Oh, I have 4 people on YouTube. Wow. Hello YouTube. I wasn't expecting that much people there, but hello. Okay, let's see what's happening with whatchamacallit with my template. Oh, there's a rollback. Okay, something went bad. So CFN cannot tell us everything. For example, ARNs must start with... Okay, my code deployment group has failed because I have not passed something correctly. So what did I do with my code deployment group? So what resource my code deployment group? It's somewhere... My code deployment group. This is the thing where I kind of winged it, but I actually need to define an ARN. So if I go back to my code deploy somewhere, yes, the code deployment group, this one, yes. So they do this. So if I paste it here and delete this, no, I want to delete this. Can I do this? And if I do my code and deploy role. So what I'm doing here right now, because the ref here doesn't return an ARN, it returns probably a name or something, and the service role here explicitly requires a role. So what I'm doing here is I'm using the built-in intrinsic function to CloudFormation that it will get the specific attribute, or gets a specific attribute from a specific resource. So in this case, the service role ARN. Now just to check this again with no. See, CFN-Lint doesn't capture everything. There you go. So sometimes it's just, you are just required to do things a bit more manually. So let's go back to CloudFormation. Is it here? It's here. Let's delete the stack like that. So this is where I kind of wish that CloudFormation has a better CLI tool, right? Mr. R2D2 asking on YouTube, what's your Twitch link? Give me a second. How can I best paste this? It's basically the same name as on YouTube, so it's RUP12 or RUP12. It's just twitch.tv/RUP12. It's the same thing. You can see it here on stream, the little YouTube name. Basically, that's the same on Twitch. Feel free to follow me there. I'm streaming these things both on YouTube and Twitch as well. So, okay, cool. It's deleted. Create stack. Upload a template file. Next. Yeah, speaking of CLI, it's more fun to play with CDK because CDK has a really nice CLI. So if this fails, you can just roll back and try again and all those things. So sometimes it's much more funner to do it with this. Okay, why did it fail? Buckets. Buckets are the bane of my existence because you create a bucket and a bucket name is unique. So you have to go to this lovely thing, S3 now, and I have to delete that bucket. Ugh, okay, delete this thing. So, artifact. How did I name this thing? Domesaro, something. Yeah, this it is. Okay. Delete. Okay. Back to CloudFormation. let's see, this is still deleting. It takes a moment or so. Okay, create stack. Also, fixing names for your buckets is not always the best thing in the world, as you know, they have to be unique. So it's it can be a bit more tedious in this way, especially if you want to delete them all. So stream CFN. Let's be lazy. Cool. Yeah, Delboy GG. Yeah, I know. All this clicking is not my style, and I appreciate CDK a lot more now. So yeah, I know it's fun. Oh, Kaurin, thank you very much, Miloshev, for I have a subscriber. Wow. Let's see if this goes through. Now I know this stream is not very focused on a specific, you know, laser precise thing that I wanna talk about, but it's more of a let's play around with something, and I enjoy these things. For Lambda deployment, EC tag filters cannot be specified. Did I specify EC2 Lambda filters? Yeah, I know. Mr. Delboy, I've joined Amazon when we were doing CloudFormation still only in JSON. Now JSON, you don't struggle with tab spaces, but you struggle with understanding how the code looks. So yeah, it's been, and CDK is so nice. So again, I'll probably do the same thing I've done right now, but do it with CDK as well. So that should also be fun. What is it? My deployment group says for my deployments, EC2 tag filters cannot be specified. I did not specify those things. Did I? No. Interesting. Why do you think I have invalid EC2 tag exception? What? Yeah, JSON is. Don't get me wrong. I joke on JSON quite a lot, right? I make fun of it, that it's a horrible thing, and but JSON is a great object notation. It's a great language for a lot of things, for transferring data. It's amazing, but writing JSON is horrible, and reading JSON especially, it's not the easiest of things, I must say. Yeah, exactly. So CloudFormation to CDK is what assembly is to programming languages. Yeah, to an extent. So because you see CloudFormation, well, you see CDK using CloudFormation in the backend, right? So it didn't have to develop its own entire thing. So it's just using CloudFormation in the backend as a thing. So absolutely. But it's good to see CloudFormation from time to time. Let's have a look. Maybe I can see it here easier. How did you pick this up that I want to use? I have nowhere EC2. No, I don't have EC2. Why did you pick this? Why are you complaining? A Lambda deployment EC2 tag filters cannot be specified. Service can. And I did not specify this. So let's have a peek back at the documentation. EC2 tag filters. I did not specify this at all. On the application, did I do something here? No, I didn't. So I may have found a bug. So do I need to do something? Let's Lambda. this. Maybe I can just... Let's go ahead like this. Or bam. Ooh, that's horrible. Okay, Delboy. So let me explain. What I'm trying to do here, well, attempting to do here, is I am basically building a CI/CD pipeline on AWS using CloudFormation, like just purely banging this thing out. Nothing special. It's a very unorganized stream, so it's me basically just trying to figure this thing out. I have not prepared anything for this. It's me just, as you can see, trying to make it work, looking at docs. It's just an exploratory stream. So creating a CI/CD pipeline using CodeBuild, CodeDeploy, CodeCommit. Correct. Yes. So far I have it all here in my 269 line CloudFormation template, which most of the things I've actually typed manually, but we're stuck here on a few things. Using local linting tools, this all seems to work fine, but for some reason it's showing me a weird error that it doesn't work, or that it shouldn't work. Let me just try to lint it again to see this. That's all good. Now we can try to deploy it again. And the weird thing is I need to delete my bucket every time. So delete, like that. Cool. Let's try it again. I could maybe do this through the CLI as well, like using the AWS CLI as well, but it gives me easier way to look at errors like this. Stream CFN-Lint. Now, when you're why is this not working is my favorite programming emotion. Yeah, this is literally why is this not working, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't really know why this is not working. It throws an error that should not exist, which is like every error, right? Graham asks, could you drop the code in CFN Designer to test? Maybe, yeah, I can try it out. Let me just see. Okay, configuration must be okay. Interesting. Grid failed. Okay, somewhere. Okay, we've moved past it apparently. So we needed to okay, this is a really interesting bug. Okay, I have recording to prove it, and I'll speak to the CodeDeploy or to the CodeDeploy / CloudFormation team to kind of force this on them that it there is a problem that it completely gives you a different error, that you should not define EC2 tags on a deployment group if you're doing lambdas, but I did not define it. I just need to define a deployment configuration, otherwise it won't work. So I need to update things. So good. Yes, definitely it's easier to do it with CDK. You can do much more logic with CDK than CloudFormation. So let's have a look. App pipeline. So we have failed on app pipeline. So what is app pipeline? So it says value property configuration must be object with string or simple type properties. Configuration. I know. This is so, Mr. Khan here. What I do when I'm doing massive testing like this, I usually create a bash script or just have a saved command line that I just run it from the CLI, just to run it all from the CLI because it's much more simpler. You know, it's easier to do it that way than just doing it manually through the command, doing it through this lovely thing all the time because it's so slow. This it takes me more time to just kind of look at CloudFormation's UI and figure out what the deal is than just to kind of write the code. And Jana asks, what does a 400 error in CodeBuild mean? Where is this error coming from? Is it on the actual build or somewhere else? Okay, value property configuration might be an object with strings. Okay, so this is something with YAML. So welcome to the world of YAML. CodePipeline, where is it? CodePipeline action. Yeah, using CLI is easier because especially with parameters. Can't hit if you're using a lot of parameters, you can actually create a parameter file and just load that up with CLI. It just works. I'll actually show this to you in a second. So let's just try to figure something out. Pipeline action type ID. Is this it? What am I looking for? I'm looking for something. It's not action type ID. It's stages. Stage declaration. Action. And then it's an action like that. And configuration. Okay. Is it really JSON? Well. This is the more complex thing on CodePipeline when it comes to building these things. Configuration property reference. Okay, cool. So we are doing, let's go first for CodeCommit. Where's this thing? Action type ID, and then we go provider. Okay, good. So this, and then it's CodeCommit. Is there an example? Okay, actions, output artifacts, configuration, repository name. Oh, this could be it. I'll just do strings everywhere because I don't really know. Configuration, artifact, name, nope, like this should all be fine. Okay, I think this should work now. Just do CFN-Lint again. Okay, that's all good. As before, I need to delete my bucket because why not? Somebody has taken money from my bank account, but that's fine. It's the local power company. Okay, this is deleted. Cool. Okay, let's try to create it using the CLI. So what would be the best way? Let's do this and then like that, and then CFN. So we can do the following: AWS CloudFormation. Deploy. Let's see how this works. So we need a template file. So we can do template file, call it template, template, right? No. Template YAML, is it like that? Oh, really? Template YAML, yeah. AWS CloudFormation deploy, template file, template YAML, and stack name, CFN, so let's do it, stream, CFN, stack 01 or 05. Let's try. Now this would just, it's the capability, I need to add a new something like this. No, not dash dash help, it's help. Okay, so I need capabilities value. Okay, and the capability is gonna be capability IAM. So I can do this like, actually, to be on the safe side, I'm gonna just do it like this, then like that. Capabilities, capability IAM. I think this should work. Yeah, okay, so it's deploying it properly right now. Now I'm not sure if is it gonna throw the events on screen. So this is something I'm missing. If you go the standard way of creating a stack through CloudFormation CLI or AWS CLI, it just gives you stack creation initiated, and then you have to go to the web interface and check out the events, or you can constantly poll for that specific stack locally by running the describe command, which sucks. So let's see if they fix this with the deploy, because the deploy option is relatively new. So let's see if they fixed it with the deploy option. I am gonna need more water. This is the longest stream I've had. Never had this an hour and a half stream, but it's fun. Failed to create thing. Perfect. Okay, that's fun. If I do this, and then what is it clicking? This and this. Why did it fail? Delete complete. Okay, see, it doesn't work. It's horrible to have a look at this. If I see here, so, value of property configuration must be object with string or similar type properties. Are we gonna use designer? Let's try designer. Why not? Why not? Upload. No. Upload. Can I upload? By the way, I've never used designer. I've seen it once when I joined Amazon, and that's about it. So, oh, that's horrible. See, it doesn't throw an error here, right? It doesn't say that anything is bad. It just says, can I validate? Template is valid. There you go. Template is valid. App pipeline, configuration, this thing, project, output, artifact. Why are you being angry? Configuration, application name. I most likely not define something as a string, but what is that? See, if you do it through the designer, it will move you to this, but it's gonna fail because buckets. Can I see something more detailed here? Value of property configuration must be an object with string or similar type properties. Yeah, so I have most likely have pasted something wrongly here. So something wrong. Let's have a look. Configuration must be an object of type string. So let's have a look. Configuration. Let's look at this one. Repository name, branch name, poll for changes. This looks like it's fine. It looks like it should be okay. Configuration, repository name, branch name, mainline. Okay. Let's look at the other one. Configuration, project name. No, that's all good. That's all fine. Let's go code build. Let's see a code build thing. Is this fine? Yeah. This one. Configuration. I see a problem here. I think this is it, but let's not jump the gun. The deploy one is configuration. Okay, I think this is fine. I found something that CFN-Lint doesn't detect. If I do this and then go here, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna delete. Yeah, YAML can be very nasty with indentations. Oh, no. So that's why when people ask me, and this question comes up more than you think. It's like, oh, so Darko, should I start with CloudFormation because it's the basic and not CDK, or not with SAM or whatever? Start with thing that kind of makes you feel the best. So, and I think that's a weird thing, but it's really important that kind of when you write your code that you feel good about it. We're all engineers and we like to write code. We just want to make sure that it's fun, right? So stressing with YAML and JSON because it's all the indentations and quotes and all that stuff can be sometimes very stressful. And some people find YAML to be very nice. I mean, I agree that it looks beautiful, right? Well, sorry, it looks okay. it's fine to read, but if you want to, maybe if you have like experience with Python or JavaScript or Java or C# or F#, maybe CDK is the solution for you, right? Or if you want a more specific, domain-specific language, you can use Terraform. Terraform is a great tool. I mean, I do work for AWS, but I think Terraform is really good. I see no reason why people should not be using Terraform. So use the tool that is best for you, because at the end of the day, you're not using this tool because somebody told you to use this tool. You're using this tool to make your life easier. So not describe, but deploy. So you want to use this tool to kind of make your life quite much easier, and you make your thing secure and all that stuff. So there's so many things out there to play with. I think we all can choose these things. Okay, while this is happening, I need to just give a quick peek here. Still people on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Wow. It's interesting. I have more followers on YouTube than I have on Twitch, but most of my viewers are coming from Twitch. So, yeah, Twitch. Python is beautiful. Here's the thing. Like, I think the prettiest language out there. Now, this is very subjective, of course. The language that looks the prettiest for me is Ruby. I'm not a fan of Ruby. I can write Ruby, but the syntax of Ruby is beautiful. Same with Rust. Rust has a really nice syntax if we're talking about more advanced programming languages. But yeah, Python is nice. The only problem with Python I have is indentation. So Python requires specific indentation, and that can also be a problematic thing. If you wanna create a single line program or something that does something, yeah, it's you cannot do that in Python, or it's more difficult to do it in Python. Okay, unsupported property output artifact. Why are you unsupported, dude? Let me just do one thing before, delete the bucket. Maybe I should create a command that does this as well. So also there's a good reason why people don't delete buckets through CloudFormation, because buckets is S3 bucket is your persistent data, or it's at least considered to be your persistent data. So make sure that you do not delete buckets unless you have to. So Rust is cool. I've played around with Rust. Rust was my my Corona thing to do. I was like, okay, let me just learn some basics in Rust. It's a very nice language. It's a very nice thing to look at. So output artifact is not a supported property. Interesting. Why is it not supported? Output artifacts. Because typo. And it's weird, like, okay, wait, I need to see if CFN-Lint picks this up. It doesn't. Rust, well, it's a great programming language, I must say. It's more approachable than, for example, C#, and it has like the capabilities of C, and it has the capabilities of C++. So I think it's very, very cool, very low level. But again, you need to find a use for it to do something with it. Again, I could not find anything that I can do with it for my job, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna build X and Y. Most of my stuff is cloud-based, so using Rust for cloud development is maybe not the best use of your time, or not the best use of Rust's time. So yeah, I think there's not even an SDK for AWS for Rust. So yeah. Okay, let's attempt this once more. So deploy. Okay, we're waiting. Perfect. So things have been created. Now I want to stress this out. I want to stress something. We have been struggling for the last hour and a half to do a bunch of things, which is problematic. But imagine doing this manually. Now you can go click a bunch of buttons and maybe get it right, but doing this repeatedly, deleting things and creating new things, and especially in the old world, like when you had to like create servers and whatnot, would be super complicated, super problematic, and super engaging. This is, even with all this, you know, typo thing, it's much more approachable than some other things. Okay, failed again. Why? Validation error. All right, there we go. Pipeline role ARN. It needs to be an ARN. You can see one thing. There are inconsistencies when it comes to CloudFormation. Not every error is the same thing. So, Graham asks, will Rust come to AWS? I don't know. I really don't know. Again, if there's enough requirements or requests from people for it to come, I see no reason why not. But as of now, I'm not aware of any Rust SDK official from AWS. I believe there's an unofficial SDK for AWS in Rust for Rust, but I have not tried it out. Okay, let's try to fix something. So it says something, some ARN thing was wrong. Can I find this ARN pipeline? Okay, pipeline role. Okay, my code pipeline role. I can do it like this, ARN, right? So this should work, right? I've seen that somewhere. Just want to make sure that this works as well. Instead of using the intrinsic function, I can also use this one. Yes, get at. No, I need to use get at. Okay, so I can do. So this is the same thing as fn get at, just a different way to write things. Code source ARN. That should be fine. Perfect. Okay, let's try it again. Let's just see if this would work. CFN-Lint. Has an illegal function, fn get at. Why is it not an illegal function? Why is this an illegal function? It should not be an illegal function. fn get at. Okay, one moment. Let's do something else. So let's do this. Okay. No, there shouldn't be. No. Oh, right. Excellent catch. No colon. Yes. Okay. So let me just explain what I did wrong. So I basically put a colon after get at, and you should not. So you need to do this and that. And it was actually showing me here, but I didn't look at it properly. So CFN-Lint and wabam. Okay, excellent. Cool. So let's play the entire dance again. Let me just see if I have I deleted this thing? Yes, I have. Have I deleted this? Yes, I have. Again, the same dance. Now, when you deploy with CDK, CDK shows you really nice output of like what events are happening and what event it fails. This thing just says, I have failed, and just describe the stack to see what the problem was. So it's not as approachable as it is with CDK, or at least not as fun to do it on the CLI. Okay. So, okay, the bucket has been created. What more? Build project has been created. The thing is that like every time I delete this or try it again, it just wipes everything and tries again. So, you know, you have no straggling things. Oh, wow, we have created something. Wow. Excellent. Let me go to CodePipeline. Oh, we may have created a pipeline. It has failed because there's nothing in the pipeline to do. But yeah, we have a pipeline. We have source action, a build action, and a thing here. Why did this fail? Because no code commit repository named was found. Wait. So there should be a code commit repository. Ooh, interesting. So we've done something here. So let's see what repositories do we have here. CFN stream repo. That's all fine. Maybe we didn't pass something correctly. So if I go here and go to code commit repo, okay, repository name, CFN stream repo, so stage, repository name, let me do something like that. Code commit, let's find code commit. If I create a code commit repository, what is my output? My return value, my ref value is the logical ID. But when the logical ID of the resource is provided, oh, the repository ID. Okay, I don't need a repository ID, I need a name. So this is what I made a mistake. So instead of doing ref my code commit repo, I can do get at my code commit repo name. Perfect. So if I do, let's test my template. Mapping values are not allowed in here. What? I'm not mapping anything. 2 to 4, 2 to 5. Ooh, sorry. Vim sometimes messes with my indentations. There we go. So again, wabam, and I can just use the same thing. So it will actually upload it, update it. So it will create a change set. I didn't have to delete it. So it should update all of these things. So let's have a look. And I'll end the stream there. So one of the things that it has done here, yeah, okay, so it has updated the pipeline. So one of the things that it has done is we have actually created a pipeline here. Does it work? Yeah, okay, cool. We have a template, perfect. So this seems to be successful. Now we have not created anything on top of it. Like we haven't created an application. We have not did anything with build. We have not done anything with deploy. But what we have done here is we have actually used CloudFormation from scratch to create 3 roles, right? Roles for both pipeline, the build role, and the code deploy role. On top of that, we have created a S3 bucket, which is going to be used for our artifact storing. We have created a code commit repository, which is our Git repository. We have created a code build project, which is code build. We have created a code deploy application. So basically what we created is a pipeline that takes your code from code commit, takes it to code build, does something with it, builds it or tests it, whatnot. And finally, we use code deploy to deploy things to Lambda functions. Now, we have not configured any of that. So one of the things I would suggest is that, actually, let me have a look at my calendar tomorrow. You know what? Let's do this tomorrow. Tomorrow tomorrow at the same time, or tomorrow somewhere through the day, I'm actually going to post on social media or wherever. We're going to come back and we're going to finish this, build this application again, and actually make it work, right? We're going to create a small serverless application. We're going to deploy, we're going to commit it to a repository. We're going to have it build or test, and we're going to have it be deployed to a Lambda function. So we need to create Lambda functions here as well and a bunch of things. So let's finish our serverless application tomorrow together with this entire thing. Excellent. So before I go, let's do something. So I need to do something brave. A second. I need to open up something here, and that's this. Let's go here. New repository. Let's call it stream CFN CI/CD serverless. Why not? Because all the buzzwords. Here be some CloudFormation code for CI/CD. Perfect. It's going to be public. License is going to be MIT, I guess. Create repo. And let's add things. How do you add code? I always get that little. 1 second. What's the command to add automatically? No, I like to copy paste those things. Add files. Create new file. No. I want to add my code here. Wait. No. I'm gonna be lazy and do this and do this and destructive. Delete. I understand this. Oh no. I think I did good. Nope. You know when you type a password and you know you typed it bad because something is off in your typing. Good. Okay. Once again, new repository name. It's going to be this thing. Exactly. You still have this. I may have done it. I'm so lazy to try it out again. Yeah. Cool. So this is what I want. So I wanted this thing because I can just do this and come to my terminal like that. Save it all and just do this and bam. And let's do something first. Git check out b main. Git add all. Git commit. Genesis. Git push origin main. I want to remove the master line. So Jose M. Roche asks, once this template is created, how can it be referenced when you are building your app to use the pipelines created here? So here's the thing. You would never just build the pipeline because building just the pipeline in itself is useless, right? So usually what you do is you build a pipeline per application, right? So you for example, you build your app and you use something like this template to, within your app or while creating the infrastructure for your application, you create a CI/CD pipeline as well. So, and then everything else you need to do here is just basically commit your application to this CodeCommit repository we have created, and that's all. So you wouldn't modify it somehow outside. You wouldn't access it outside of something else, right? I want to just do something here. Branches. I'm gonna do main update. I understand. That's fine. If I go to my code again, that's it. I just have my template here. Now my main branch is here. That should be fine. So cool. How does one delete a branch? Git. How does one delete a branch? Git delete branch. Git branch D. Git branch D master. Yes. And then I have to do something like git push origin. I am by no means a Git expert, so I'm even trying something out. Somebody showed me there's a thing called LazyGit. So if I do brew install LazyGit, does that exist? LazyGit is this little. I'm a fan of CLI, and LazyGit is this great tool to kind of helps you manage Git in a more graphical sense from the CLI. So let's see if it's available on Brew. I'm not sure because I have it on my Linux box, but I don't have it on my MacBook. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I just want to see something. Let's see if it works. But yeah, now if you guys want to access this thing, you can have. Let me actually just go to my other machine. And the way I go to another machine, I press a button on my mouse. So moving to my different machine and going to GitHub and. Oh, but my keyboard is not to the other machine. Ah, wait. Flip. Then git. What is it? Serverless CFN thing. Yes. Cool. So copy and then paste to here like that. Bam. Yeah. Okay, cool. You should have gotten it right now on all the parts. Excellent. Perfect. Switching back to the laptop. Perfect. Cool. Does this work? Oh yeah, it works. Excellent. Let me just see if oh, it's installing all the things. Brew is not I'm not sure about you guys, but Brew is not my favorite tool of choice when it comes to package management. I know some people defend it quite a lot, thinking it's the best thing, but it's very slow compared to other package managers out there, including pip and npm. So. And we had this discussion internally that SAM, or the serverless application model, SAM CLI is available through Brew on Linux. I think only available through Brew on Linux, unless you're going to manually install it. I'm not a fan of that. So, okay, doesn't matter. Let's go here and let's do this. So, tomorrow at what time? At 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. CEST. No lol banner. Oh, wait. Oh, no, lol banner. Yes. 6 p.m. CEST or Central European Summertime. I will continue this same thing. So if you guys are interested, do join me. Again, even if you have not followed through the entire thing, this stream is going to go on YouTube. And I'm going to have it on my YouTube channel, which you can find there-ish. Roop 12, it's basically the same thing. So check it out there. It's going to be there soon, as soon as I uploaded it. And I have a whole bunch of other content there as well. So do check it out. I really enjoy the audience today. Thank you very much for the interactivity, all of you. So I am very much a fan of interacting with the audience more than anything else in this case. So cool. Thank you very much once again. I hope you enjoy this kind of a exploratory look into CloudFormation, troubleshooting CloudFormation, or banging my head against my code editor and CloudFormation itself. I have a few things I'm going to actually bring up with some of the service teams here that I found. So this was a really nice bug hunt. So hopefully join me tomorrow where I continue this. So we built a pipeline, but let's expand on it. Let's build the other elements of this pipeline as well. And maybe it's going to be another 2-hour stream, which is fun. Just before I go, Graham asks, what do you prefer over Brew? I use, I know this is a meme, but I use Arch Linux. So Arch has its own package manager called Pacman, and that's really good. So yeah. Okay, so Kahira asks, terminal setup. Absolutely, I am very happy to show you my terminal setup. I have some dot files somewhere, but I don't think they're public because they're horrible, but I'll share it for sure. It's super simple, but I'm happy to share my Vim and my terminal setups. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Yeah, bye-bye.